World record talker Subhadra Vijaykumar. Hi,
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet you, and welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Tell about yourself. I can see you with your violin. It's a violin, right?
It is a violin.
Yeah. Tell about the violin and when did you started playing the violin?
I started playing the violin when I was 15.
Yeah.
I started learning from a disciple of the world-renowned maestro, Professor T.N. Krishnan. And the violin is actually identical to the Western violin, but it was adapted into Indian music some 200 years back when the British came to India. And the South Indian musicians, a family of composers, they saw the potential in the violin. There was particularly one person called Baluswami Dikshitar who used to associate with the English band that was playing over there, and he saw the violin and he adapted it to South Indian classical music.
So this is when is the when was this they started to use violin 200 years back or before that?
About 200 years back when Britain first came to India. I think that was even before 1857. I'm not very good with my history dates, but you know, thereabouts. Late.
I love violin. Most of the Indians films, most of the music directors, they use the violin music as well, and it's most popular in even Greek. They use this violin, right? Greek and other countries. I don't know, but most popular in India. So you're going to play any of the songs for us? What you're going to play?
I'm going to play what's called an English note.
English note.
As I said, you know, South Indian classical musicians were constantly influenced by Western musicians as well, and one of the composers, he composed something what he called an English note. So I'd like to play that for you, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to use this piece for an upcoming program of mine on November 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give you a big hand.
Thank you. This is going to be a little tricky. I've never done it in such a small couch because this is how we adapt it. We sit cross-legged. So if I'm not able to give my best, I apologize.
Samir, can you heat up a little bit? What is the difference between this called veena they use in India, right? Veena is a big, and they have another one, sitara.
Yes.
And the violin. What is the difference with these kind of instruments?
The veena is a South Indian classical instrument and sitar is a North Indian classical, and both are indigenous instruments to Indian music. Sort of their origins are, I believe, in India, but the violin is a Western instrument that was imported into South Indian classical music, as I said earlier, and I think it's the most difficult instrument.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because there are no frets, unlike the veena or the sitar, there are no frets in the beginning, so you've got to be able to only listen and you know, put your finger at the correct position. So that takes months. Whereas in the veena, there are frets, or even in the guitar, so you know exactly for this particular note you can keep your finger on this position.
And what kind of grade have in violin? Is there any levels of passing, like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, or?
Oh yeah, like I hold a diploma from a prestigious music college in Bombay, India, and that was completed after a 9-year study, and then I did a year's advanced training with my teacher, my late teacher. So it takes a good, I guess, 10-15 years to get some kind of mastery, and then you keep improving more on the job, you know, during concerts. And
we can play for another songs for us, the different.
Sure. As I said, I'm working towards an upcoming concert on November 17th at the Gladstone Hotel. I'm collaborating with my colleagues from the Conservatory, Anne Lederman and Ian Bell. They call themselves Muddy York, and so some Western musicians, myself, we are collaborating for this performance. So one of the melodies I'll use is what I played before, the English note. And then there's another one that because all music underlying is notes, right? So whatever it is, if you just find the matching notes, you can just combine.
This one you are performing upcoming your event?
I'm sort of using this melody. Like, this is a very classical Carnatic composition called a Varnam. It's rhythmic in nature, and it's usually a concert opener. So Anne and Ian are performing some melodies. When we rehearsed together, I realized that this would be a perfect fit, you know, for me to introduce this. And when we rehearsed at my home studio, they just loved it. And we said, okay, you know, and this is how it's part of the fusion work that I'm doing, besides performing our core classical concerts in the community. I want to take the Western violin, reach it out to as many audiences to know that, hey, here's the Western violin that was adapted into South Indian classical music so successfully and so competently.
Yeah, this I've seen some of the places in UK. They play this one. What is the connection between UK and India playing these instruments there as well?
British.
British,
right.
yeah.
They brought it to India when they came and colonized.
So is it born in Britain?
Again, it's very interesting. You know, there's one school of thought that thinks that it originated really somewhere in more the eastern side of the world, but the violin, as we know, is in the West, and I think most likely it's European in origin. You know, today's the violin as you see it today, with the 4 strings and you know this kind of shape and the bow that we use. So it originated in Europe.
In Europe.
Yeah.
So they're very popular in Europe, and they brought it to India. So this now is very popular in India than any other countries. Most of the people, they use the violin, and even all the music directors, they use like 10 violinists or 30, 40 for a, you know, for a big concert, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So, do you like to perform one more to us, which you're going to perform on your show? It's very lovely it's very nice, you know, to hear it early morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just I'm a little constrained by the seating, but I'll do my best.
Okay. No. Yeah. So we are going for a commercial break,
okay.
And thank you very much for being us. We are scheduled to another show. Thank you very much. Go for a commercial break. 905-595-5483, and we are live from Rogers, Ontario, Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Visit us www.rogerstv.com.